Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Pub Table Racers, episode number, 56. My name is Tim Packman. Sitting next to me is the fresh off his victory for the Team Penske at Atlanta,
Warren Brozell.
That's right. Warren didn't drive the car.
I was fresh off my victory from the chair. I was drinking beer watching it.
It was a team thing, though.
It was good.
Where you were? Team Penske.
Team Penske.
Did you win the cup race?
Team Penske.
Wood Brothers.
Wood Brothers Racing.
All right. Thanks for...
I do more on the Wood Brothers stuff
Yeah,
nowadays.
a little froggy there. That's good. Keep working on them. He had a good finish, too.
Yes.
Thanks for being with us tonight. Coming up, this show is brought to you by Lake Norman Patio and Game Rooms each and every week, and the website as well. We'll talk about them more in a minute. Tonight's show, we'll talk about everything that happened in Atlanta over the weekend with the Cup, Truck, and Xfinity races, and then we are going to bring up...
Don't fall asleep on us.
Me or the race?
Yeah.
Okay. You renamed it. And then we're going to bring up longtime NASCAR crew
Don't
member.
fall asleep on us 250.
Then we're going to bring up...
Shut me up.
No. And we're only, 3 minutes in, folks. But wait, there's more. Then we're going to bring up... you start drinking already. We're going to bring up Clint Almquist, longtime crew member RCR, Germain, Hendrick, and other places. We'll hear his story, how him and his brother came from California into NASCAR. Before we get to that, Warren, why do we have a bucket of Miller?
We have a bucket of Miller High Life, number one, because we are pub table racers.
And if you're sitting at a pub,
and you're talking about racing, you're going to need beers.
Right.
And you probably might as well get a bucket because
Right.
it's usually cheaper that way.
exactly.
We drink Miller High Life because of Bobby Allison. He's
Right.
our hero.
Exactly.
And this is a good Milwaukee beer that I've been
Perfect.
weaned on.
Weaned on.
Weaned.
That's what we blame it on. Hey, do you see what I have here, Warren?
I do.
It's a Pub Table Racers koozie.
Koozie.
And yeah, look what's in front of the table tonight. We have our white hats and our black hats and our awesome tumblers.
Hats and tumblers.
Warren, how do you get one of those?
Well, if you go onto our website,
Which is?
pubtableracers.com,
Very good.
and you look at our merchandise area, you can order any of this
Yeah.
via satellite.
Via the internet, and we will either ship it to you or bring it to you personally. And if you happen to catch me out and around town, I'll probably have a couple things in the car, just so you know.
Yeah.
All right.
Hopefully just a couple things of hats. And
Right, perfect. Not the whole thing. Perfect. Well, thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. Going to have a good show. Before we get going, we are brought to you by Lake Norman Patio and Game Rooms on Brawley School Road in Mooresville. And right now, if you're into pool tables, Brad has some awesome pool tables going on there. Teak Furniture just came in.
Yeah.
He has the tabletop hockey. What's your favorite one you like?
Foosball.
Foosball, that's it. Go see Brad right now. Weather's getting nice. If your patio or game room is need a little
Outdoor
help,
fire pits.
yeah,
Whatever you need for your patio.
and around
or
it,
pool
sure. He's
area.
got it going on.
Yeah, I'm going to go visit him. I think I'm going to try and get him see what he can do for me for some Adirondack chairs around my fire pit.
Well, tell you what, if you walk in and mention Pub Table Racers to see him or
I might wear
JoJo,
my shirt even.
you might get a little bit of a discount.
Right.
That's right. So that's up that you guys could do that as well. Also, we're brought to you by RacingJunk.com. Do your van away. There you go. Buy, sell, trade. They've been a great partner. Anything and everything, pretty much automotive, motorcycle, racing, they have it. Go check them out. You'll see it. It's just incredible.
Blinker fluid, muffler bearings,
Exactly.
whatever
You can click around there for hours and get lost. Do that. Also, Rapid Removal, a new partner of ours.
Yeah.
20-yard containers. Darren Russell. Go look up Darren Russell. He's still working on his Facebook page. Look up Darren Russell on Facebook. Get in touch with him. 20-yard containers. They can tuck them in tight spaces. So if you're remodeling, if you're building, whatever you're doing, I bet if we knew a guy that was in the construction business,
Right.
we could probably partner him up.
Well, and they might even.
They might even.
The Ratto might even use him. We don't know that.
Exactly.
Maybe he can elaborate on that.
And also, we'd like to thank the Garage Shop. We've been partnered up with them for a while. And may I take a minute?
Take a minute.
So the Garage Shop Insider is a new YouTube podcast that started 3-4 weeks ago. And every Monday night at 7, we debut a new episode. Go check them out. And YouTube, also Facebook. And I was very honored to Friday, we sat down with Bobby Allison, Donnie Allison, Dave Marcus. And they talked about the Dodge Daytonas, Ford Talladegas. History was sitting there and it was awesome. The first episode aired last night with Bobby Allison. And then next week we'll have Donnie, and then after that we'll have Dave.
Very
so
nice.
The good news is you get to hear great stuff about them. And the Aero Wars, the bad news. Not bad though. Right? Holy crap, the comments are rolling in. All right, Mark Wimberly, has sold 84 cruises. The Rich Bickle Bon Voyage cruise taking place January 2022. I have my cabin. I tried to convince Mr. Fun.
I don't
do cruises, right? He's got a pool. Why would you? But anyway, if you want to go fun, it's going to be the biggest floating racing cocktail, short track cocktail party ever out there. You can Rich's final hurrah, and you can go-kart race with him on the ship. The track, not through the. My brother says hi.
If you happen to go into the water, you
The walls are really high. I did check it out. Yeah.
might have gotten off track a little bit.
You have to drive with a life preserver. That's a totally different story.
Take a mask.
All right.
And
All right.
flippers.
So we appreciate that. All right. We've got our sponsors, which we appreciate. So let's talk about Atlanta. Want to talk about the trucks first?
Sure.
All right. So Kyle Busch won.
Why not?
Okay.
I'm not a fan of that. I'm sorry.
A fan of
I'm not a fan.
No, a cup guy.
I just think that it's too much for them young guys to handle him. He's so good. He's so great, especially in those trucks. I have no opinion on how to fix it.
Right.
But it's almost not fair to them guys
Sure.
that he can go there and do that. It's just part of our sport.
Right.
You know, I mean, everybody used to have to race against Mark Martin and Dale Earnhardt and Matt Kenseth and Bobby Labonte and guys who would go back and do that. So, I don't know how you say it's race.
Sure.
So that brings, and plus he can truck just like he can own a car. Right. So I hate the fact that the talent level that he's racing against is not the same as his. And unfortunately, a lot of them guys don't stand a chance.
Got it. But and the other guys need the wins to get into the playoffs. Okay.
Which to me, that part of it's neither here nor there. I just think about the, how do you fix that? I don't know. I just don't know.
Well, they finally limited it.
They limited it, but still, it's these certain races that hurt the guys that need.
So they used to say, "Oh, those guys sell tickets." I don't think they sell tickets because I think if you're going to come down, the Truck Series can hold its own without Kyle Busch. You have your Stuart Friesens, you have your Sheldon Creeds, you have these guys that are Zane Smith. You have guys that are making their own name.
You got his
John Hunter.
You got his own guys that he's beating now. That
Good job, boss. Thanks for beating us.
Well, I mean,
Xfinity race. That was kind of interesting.
So
7-car wreck in the early part.
You might think so. I don't. Again, here we had Martin Truex come in, and even after it was 12 or 14 years since he's drove.
Long time,
Long time, but he's still, the talent level is still so much higher than the other guys he's racing against. It's hard for them guys to compete with him at that level.
Right.
And
he dominated, but in the end, didn't win.
He didn't win because of circumstances.
Speeding on pit road.
Right. So.
So Allgaier won.
And good for him.
Good for him. It's good. So he's in there. How about hitting was it Josh Berry when he hit the grass?
Yeah.
That grass was like...
So they talked about the rain there, and we all know that some of these places have been putting in, they take the sod out, they're putting in turf, which there's concrete underneath, so when you do hit something like that. That kid had it saved.
He had it saved.
He had it saved. He thought he was doing the right
thing.
To
the grass. I'm almost there.
I'm just gonna drive through the grass.
Holy crap! I'm looking up in the sky.
Yeah, and I
hate it.
Hammerhead sharked this thing in the ground
and it was killed. It was killed.
It ended his day.
And he saved it though. So, and then we got to Sunday, Cup race. There were some moments there. You're kind of like, I'm going to make a sandwich. Leave it at that.
In my opinion, I thought Atlanta being Atlanta, I thought there'd be a little bit more cautions.
Yep.
Tires did definitely come into play, but not enough cautions to make them really matter. Everybody was pretty much on the same page. Okay. They all knew what to do. To me, that race, I didn't like our commentators just focusing on one individual and not really wondering what was going on behind that individual.
Yeah.
And I seen it different.
Of course.
And I seen the car that was definitely faster,
Dominating,
in a longer run, and he won the race. So
at the end, we talked about like Bobby always talked about David Pearson back in the day. Like him and Richard would be racing their guts out, and all of a sudden the race would be over, and they'd be out there leading, and all of a sudden it'd be over with, and there's Pearson over there kissing the trophy girl because he just kind of, and at the end he made it happen. But good job for you guys, and congrats.
thank you.
Good. I'll cheers that.
Cheers.
That's it. 6 different winners. Think about it.
6.
We're on a roll. That's good. That's 6, 10 left. What happens if they do 16, 17, 18?
Someone's going to be on the outside looking
Going,
in.
I want to
That's
race,
the
but I'm
bottom
not
line.
Right. That's the bottom line.
Come to points, right?
Right. Well, that's all right. But I mean,
Unless they
it's
change the format halfway between.
No, I don't think they can do that.
Hey, by the way,
All right. All right. Real quick, we'll touch upon it. Bristol this weekend on the dirt. What are you looking forward to most?
hopefully not having to fix too much stuff.
Okay, on the track.
Oh,
Such a homer. On the track.
well, I gotta go.
That's all. You get to go. No.
I
Wait,
get to
be
go.
honest. You're
I
excited
gotta
to
go. I'm gonna enjoy it.
Good.
There's
Part of history.
some long days coming up.
Part of history.
What am I looking forward to? Hopefully, our cup cars have some speed. I'm worried about them being really, really slow.
Okay, and the other guys too. Sure.
No, not ours. Everybody in all the cup, all the
cup cars.
all the cup cars.
I'm looking forward to the 4 15-lap heat races for qualifying.
Right.
Because that's short track right there.
It
man.
is.
That's what you and I grew
The
up on.
format's awesome.
Format's awesome. I'm like, you know, I told Geraldine, just, here's what we're doing this weekend. Here's how the schedule, and she's like, oh, okay, that's fine. So we're, that's what I'm doing.
These guys all a super late model for the price we pay for a cup car, and said, hey, we're gonna go find a car,
Right.
Go find someone who owns one,
Yeah.
put your stuff all over
Sure.
it, and that's how we're gonna dirt rate this, almost like the Prelude.
Yeah.
Does anybody
Prelude to a
remember?
Dream, remember that? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what if, what if the qualifying heat races go over huge? Do you think somewhere down the line they go, we're not going to do qualifying single lap. What if we did that for more tracks?
I'd love to see it.
Okay, there you go. That's all I was about that. Perfect. Shall we?
Let's shout.
It's time. Ladies and gentlemen, our special
He's
guest.
got a lot to talk about.
He does, exactly.
He doesn't mind talking.
That's good. Crew guys. Vendors in the house. Our guest tonight, special guest, is Clint Almquist. He is a longtime crew member in the NASCAR ranks. He's worked for RCR, Hendrick, Germain. Where was the other place you said we talked about earlier?
RCR.
Stacey,
right.
what was the Stacey company?
Stacey company.
Impact Racing.
Impact.
All right, perfect. Impact. So slide up in here, man. There we go. We can hear you. All right. First of all, thanks for being on. He already has himself a beer.
Cheers.
There we go.
Thank you guys for having me.
And you have.
Now, a lot of people know him as-
we got a drink.
As Rateau.
We're getting there. Hang on. You got to drink. That's the courteous thing to do. All right. First of all, your name's Ratto. Ratto.
His
Ratto.
nickname.
Where did that nickname come from?
Can you say?
Oh yeah, no, it's not as exciting as most people think it would be.
All right.
It's, so my first job when I got back here was Impact Racing with Stacey Cumplin's the driver, Kevin Cram was crew chief,
Oh my
and
gosh, yeah.
his brother Clinton Cram worked there.
Got it.
And being on the West Coast, I'd never met too many people named Clint or Clinton.
Right.
My real name is Clint. No O-N, but I guess most out here at the East Coast is Clinton.
Okay.
It's pretty standard. But anyways, so before I got hired on there at Impact Racing, it was my first job in NASCAR or whatnot, and it was just awkward saying Clint to somebody, or anytime somebody say Clint,
There's a Clint.
there's another Clint,
Yeah.
another Clint, and it was weird.
Yep.
And so I got labeled the Desert Rat.
Okay.
Okay.
Started as Desert Rat and got, that was a little bit long of a nickname,
Yeah.
and eventually evolved into Ratto, and then I worked there for a
Okay,
year.
hang on one
Okay.
second.
Okay. So we got.
I'm going to
your
go
name.
with the Desert Rat because you did trucks, right? You did.
Yeah.
You did the desert trucks.
Okay. So let's back way up. Where did you get your interest in racing started?
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
from where originally?
We'll back this way up. Yeah, Southern California, Black
Okay.
California is
Right.
small. We call it a gas station town. Basically, it's an agriculture town. But it's in between. If you tell people to go from Phoenix to LA, it's right in the middle,
Okay.
right in California Arizona border.
In between nowhere and somewhere.
Exactly. Back in the late '90s, you got gas there, and then you went all the way to Phoenix, which was 160, 170 miles
Got it.
before you saw civilization again.
Right.
So.
I got beer there, maybe.
Yeah.
Where did the motorsports interest start? The racing.
Basically, my dad got us going early on, an early age. He got us into go-karts. We did dirt tracks. We used to drive to Riverside, and we ran karts at an early age. Well, back even more, I think we were 4 or 5. We had a little dirt field out back. Dad had us in karts out there. Just me and I got my twin brother. We were competitive and beat and bang, and just had a good time. And that got us with the racing enthusiasm, and the competition started then. And obviously having a twin brother, the competition never ends.
Right.
How old are you now?
40, 41, 42.
And your twin brother, how old is he?
Who's older?
Well, that's even a longer story.
I got one that's a minute older. I'm older than you by a minute.
I'm your older brother.
Well, see, here's the problem, because I think me and my brother, we're a lot alike, but we're a little bit different on a handful of subjects. And basically, I say I was down in the chute, ready to go. Last minute, Mom had a cesarean, so they put him. He was on top, so they called him over.
Okay.
Man, snookered again.
And you've been making up for it ever
I'm
since.
trying to make up ever since.
Okay.
So he calls himself the older brother. But anyways, so we did dirt cars, and then we actually raced Riverside. Not the Riverside race way that most NASCAR people think of, but there was a Riverside kart track.
Okay.
We had a good time there. Did some of that, and then out in California, you couldn't race until you were 16 in a full body stock car, just to legal reasons.
Right.
So
Back
I'm
then.
jealous of a lot of these kids now.
With the
that are
12-year-old that won up at Bristol.
Yeah, getting to do this.
Toys there and late models and modifieds, and man, if only. But we did what we could. We did what we were allowed to do, and Dad had us going in street stocks when we were 16.
So you both each had a car.
We both had a car.
So your dad was double funded?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was double
twins.
funded. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No, they did.
Jeez.
He did.
Okay.
He did everything he could, and we had a good time. It was a short track Saturday night. It does happen on the West Coast.
Right.
I know
Good.
a lot of people are biased to it, but so we raced there, and I think my first year I got Rookie of the Year. I think because we couldn't start till May, so we missed the first 3 or 4 races because we were not old enough yet. And in May was my birthday, so then we got to be able to start racing. So it was kind of like one of Dad's first life lessons. We built the race cars from scratch, and the older guys that helped us build the cars, they got to run them the first couple of races.
Waiting
and
for
then,
your turn to
and then we got to repair them after they were around.
Right.
So we learned real quick.
Yeah.
Had to take care of the equipment. Yeah. And we learned how to work on it. So so then that evolved, and
that's why you're sitting here, because you learned how to work on them.
yeah. So we did that, and then my dad's deal was whoever finished highest in the points can jump up to the next level. I ended up beating my brother. I think I got third in the points and Rookie of the Year. I think my brother was right behind me, and so that meant I got to go jump up to the hobby stock. So we built a hobby stock for me, and we rebuilt my brother's car, and then my dad had a Pro 4, I believe he was running at that time. So we that year was, I think it was like 97. I think we took all 3 championships. So it was
Good job.
it was
Nice.
proud moment for
Almquist
Alquist family.
Oh,
Yeah,
what's there?
there was. Yeah, I think there was
The
only one
Almquist
brother.
gang. Here they come.
Yeah.
Not the Alabama gang. Almquist gang. Here you go.
There is a story about that.
All right. You only got those 9, but go ahead.
Yeah. So,
All right, there's a story. Go ahead, tell them.
we got in a little scuffle. Me and the car got together, and but believe it or not, we had 3 cars, so we had a pretty healthy crew.
Right. Oh yeah.
For a Saturday night crew,
Supporters, yes.
we had 2 or 3 on each car.
Got it, okay.
To help get it into through tech and all that stuff. And,
Yeah.
well, anyways, one of them came down and jumped in my face when I was 17, and all of a sudden the whole crew showed up behind me, and the guy from San Diego said, "What are you, the Alabama crew?" Or
I mean, it's
like, whatever it takes, you know. Back up and get out of here. So,
perfect.
but anyway, so that was a lot of fun, and then, that right then I was like, man, this is what I'm gonna do the rest of my life. And, racing. What else is there, you know?
Yep.
So mom stepped in, said, no, you're going to school. You know, you need to get some schooling, you know, and I have to say, you're right, Mom. I probably wish I had done a little more school.
Sure. I think we all do
at this point in my life. So,
yeah.
Any young guys are listening, or young.
Here's what I say about that, though. We wouldn't know what we know if we would know all the school. Half of what we know, and we'd know more school. We'd be way better at math, but we'd suck at fabrication, or we'd only be half as good as we are now.
Exactly. No,
I'm gonna have to go back and hear that again, because that was like very. I mean, that's like that might be a T-shirt in there we can make. All right, so you're doing all that, and then you jump up. Is there off-road trucks in there somewhere? Or?
We did. We were. I mean, the fun part about Blythe, California, is we were desert. It's small town desert, and lots of sand, lots of washes, a lot of desert racing. Grew up going to the Parker 400, the Mint, stuff like that. Just fun to watch. You know, beautiful trucks. You know, actually kind of grew up in the Robbie Gordon era too, when he was out there making his name, and those things are impressive. We could ride our dirt bikes straight out the back of the house. You know, you didn't have to worry about cruising through town or anything. You could just go up the canal bank and ride for days. And that was obviously the kind of the early high school, early grade, keeping you on track. All right, dirt bike gets parked. You know. So that was a.
So where did the now you're working your way towards where did the NASCAR? How did that come?
Yeah, how did you all of a sudden? When did you
decide?
decide?
To California. Like,
when did you decide? Hey, Mom, Dad.
Here's your cars back.
I'm going to North Carolina.
So we went to San Diego went to junior college there. You know, Mom said, go at least give it a year or two. You're gonna try it, see if you like anything. You know, take a little business communication, whatever.
Right.
And so we jumped into that. Went to Cuyamaca. Met some great professors there. Had some good time. They had an automotive type section, and they also had a little racing section where one of the teachers raced I think it was like a factory stock.
Guess you became quick friends with, right?
Yeah, El Cajon. Yeah, of course. So
hey, buddy.
We hung out.
So this is like the pre NASCAR type stuff going on in California.
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
This was before Junior Jones was here.
Yeah, which probably was, hey, I got a car. You guys want to come help me?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So we did that, and meantime, we were. Hope Frank Odell don't mind. Frank Odell is a friend from Blythe, California, and he drove some big rigs for us. Basically, we had a produce business for a certain extent of time, and somehow he worked his way onto Walker Evans Racing, which was
really the legendary truck.
Correct. Right. When the what were they, pro trucks back then? What did they call the trucks?
Super trucks.
Super trucks.
Super trucks.
Yep. When the super trucks started, somehow he got involved with Walker Evans and Lance North, which was a West Coast operation at the time.
Geez, there was a name, Lance North.
Yeah. So I mean, this stars aligned. You know. So basically, Frank started driving that rig, and when they would come through and do the West Coast wing, which back then I think the super trucks did 4 or 5 races out there.
Yeah, it was like Pikes Peak and
from Colorado on.
Yeah, they stayed out. They just stayed out there.
Yeah, they just stayed. That's right. Hornet talked about doing that.
So Blythe happened to be kind of in that middle ground where you know, and my dad, we've always had a shop or something to work out of in a big lot. So they would swing into town and we'd help them patch it up a little bit or repair or hang out, and then one summer they came through town and we're like, hell, can we ride with you? You know, hang out a little bit? And
sure.
We're like, yeah, we'll cover your per diem. You can stay in a hotel and
you
can go to the track. So I think me and my brother went on like a 4-race stint and just like, wow,
Yeah,
No,
it turns into a drug, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not, yeah.
Did you work on the team or did you?
We did.
Okay,
I don't know how much work we did.
Right, but
we
they
were,
let you help out, right?
we were,
When you're in your
yeah.
early 19, you get to wax a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
Clean, right,
clean
We were
a lot of
17.
stuff.
I think I might have trimmed the valence.
Right, yeah.
You know, but,
Perfect.
so we did do that, and then obviously wiped the truck down 100
Yeah.
times, vacuumed it out every chance we got, and so we thought it was pretty damn cool. And so we went back to Cuyamaca College, and I think kind of the turning point. We were the second year on that. We had got a couple of ASE masters, just automotive stuff,
Yeah.
and we were like, man, this is kind of cool, but I don't know. And the other thing we kind of did is that they had I think the biggest turning point for me was we worked on, they call it Esperanza, which is, I think is like younger mothers that don't have a lot of support. So basically, we worked on their cars for free.
Okay.
'cause,
Okay.
You know, as
Yeah,
an automotive
yeah.
tech. And being in San Diego, there was a lot of, 15-year-old cars with a lot of rust,
Right.
Yeah,
a lot of broken vacuum lines.
yeah.
And we
Just
just
a lot of junk, you
lot
could
of
say.
junk.
So you're saying you have plenty of work.
Patching it up.
Yeah, we were just repairing a lot of junk. It was
Yeah.
kind of repetitive. And it was
Yeah.
like, bro, what do you think, man? He's like, I don't know.
You look at
Yeah.
your knuckles at the time. You
Yeah, they're busted.
One more strip bolt, and I'm gonna have to cut these fingers off.
And so, yeah.
So at what point did you make the decision like we got to do
That was
something?
kind of
different?
it. We kind of talked to mom and dad. We're like, I don't know, because we're, I was trying to. My parents have always been there to help us, put us towards a career or whatever you want to try. Just try it,
Right.
And
Good.
so we somehow we just came up with like, let's just try it, bro. And I got my best friend, my twin brother.
Right.
You moved here
And
together?
We moved here together. I think
So
we were actually still 17. We weren't 18 yet.
Okay.
Wow.
We packed up and put
That's
everything. Yeah. Fake ID and we were off.
So you drove.
We drove.
Did you know where you were going besides
We did.
Charlotte?
We did.
Or
Well,
did you have something lined up, place to stay, or?
Frank Odell had a 1-bedroom apartment,
Oh my God.
and he was kind enough to say, "Yeah, come live with
Right.
me and see if you can make it. See if you can get a job." And
Frank Odell is, just so people know.
he's a truck driver for the 11, right? Yeah, 11.
Okay. So
now.
okay,
Yeah.
got it. So he was like, okay.
For the longest time, he had a really cool goatee, bald
Right.
head, cool goatee.
Right.
I don't think he still has it anymore, but
So you just packed up, drove from California to Charlotte,
yep.
stayed. So
Again.
one-
So here we go.
Thank you, Doug. I'm teeing you up here.
Another story of guys that just said we got to be there.
I want to be there.
We got to be there. In order to get a job, you got to be here.
Yep, got there.
Yeah.
So, and in my opinion, I feel like we got lucky on timing. It was in the super truck boom, kind of the trucks were exploding.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that, I mean, I had some fabrication experience because I had worked in college. I worked at National Spring, which is a big off-road spring manufacturer, and then I got to work for Chenoweth Fabrication, which they built SV16s, which is a long travel off-road buggy, and they actually did some work for the government too. But anyway, so
Real
yeah,
quick, could you weld?
I could weld. Yeah,
Could you bend tin?
yes, I could weld.
Okay, so that's where it starts.
Right.
When you get down here, well, it used to be.
Yeah.
It probably won't be like that for long.
I'm not here. I'm not
It used to be,
here.
can you weld? Can you MIG weld? Yep. Can you TIG weld? Ooh, even better. Can you weld aluminum? Ooh, even better yet. Can you bend tin? Yes, sir. Can you read a tape measure? Absolutely.
Yep.
And that's what a lot of them started out looking for. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I did skip over that in high school. We were fortunate to have a welding class.
Yeah. Same here.
That you could take in high school.
Yep.
It was a college credited,
Mhm.
and Joe Boyer was our welding teacher, and he was really cool, and he made it fun. And like I said, I learned how to MIG, TIG, and
Even probably stick weld a little bit.
stick weld.
Basic
Oh, I had-
essentials
Yep.
that you did not know was going to take you to.
Well, and to be honest with you, I just thought it, and I mean, I might consider myself fortunate or lucky, but when
Yeah,
I
but
got
you
back
wanted
here,
to do that.
I figured everybody could do it. I just figured that was like writing, or
Sure.
When you got here, when you got into NASCAR.
Right.
Yeah, when I got NASCAR, I figured everybody could.
So
Well,
what was your first gig? You get here, you're staying in this 1-bedroom
we hunted around, and I think we hunted for a week and a half, 2 weeks, and got a lot of no's. And finally I drifted into impact racing, and they just had somebody had just quit. I think Gary Farmer was his name or something. He was an older gentleman. He had quit. And they're like, well, we need somebody. And they're like, can you weld? I said, yes, sir.
Yep.
And they said, can you, TIG weld? I said, yes, sir. So do you have any background? I was like, yeah, I mean, I built my own street stocks. I built my own, whatever. Worked on my dad's late model. And
how's your drinking skills? I'm good.
I'm 17.
And then also I had got some mill work experience at Chenoweth Fab.
Okay.
And that was on there. The foreman at Chenoweth Fab, he put that on my resume for me, and I was like, that's silly. Everybody can do that too. But anyways, I got there, and that was one I kind of saw. And Stacy Johnson was the shop guy and machinist at the time at Impact Racing.
Mm-hmm. Who was the driver?
Stacy Compton.
Okay.
His 86 RC Cola truck.
RC Cola.
Over by the Speedway, right?
Yeah, right by the Speedway.
Speedway, yeah.
You know how I know that?
How?
I built your pit box.
Oh, that's right. That's how you got your start. There you go. Perfect.
But so I got.
You know how I know RC Cola? I mixed it with stuff.
It's actually delicious.
It is good. It is good stuff. But go ahead. So you start. It is pump table racing. So you started there, and what were your duties? Working the shop? Were you building?
Actually, they put me right in as fabricator.
Wow. Okay, guys.
Right out the door, fabricator. I expect to get in there and start sweeping the floors or wiping trucks down, and they're like, "We don't have time for that. We need you to weld these motor mounts in. We need you to weld this."
Time.
Yeah, so I was like, "Okay,
here we go. I'm in.
Let's do it."
And that's back in the day when there's probably 10 people working in there or something.
Yeah, not even that. We had 7 or 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're doing crush. Yeah, I bet you're doing crush panels and windows, and it's like the first time someone handed me a window. I was like, a window.
Yeah.
Window. So about Lex.
Yeah. And that was Then they
all right, weld this in. It's gonna melt. Anyways.
I learned a lot that first year. Actually, back up because my brother still hadn't found a job, so I got there.
I was going to ask you. So you have a job?
I got there for a week, and the crams, I love them to death.
Yeah.
But they're not really on time kind of people.
Like, so if it's supposed to be 8 o'clock, then?
So 8 o'clock, it's 8:30, 8:45. They're
got it.
in.
Okay.
And I was there. My dad raised me. If you're not 5 minutes early, you're 10 minutes late.
That's right.
So I was there every morning, sometimes waiting for the door to be opened or whatever. Adjacent to us was that same year, the 25 team that started with Randy Tolsma and Gary Schultz.
Tolsma, there you go.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So
names.
So they saw me there constantly,
waiting to hit the doors.
Waiting to get in or whatever.
And their doors are open.
Their doors are open.
Like, hey, we got this guy.
So they're
showing up with the brake truck.
They're like, hey, do you have a twin brother? And they're joking. And I'm like, yeah, I do.
As a matter of fact,
he needs a job.
So, perfect. Seriously?
So
that's funny enough. So, seriously, you have a twin brother.
Yep.
All right.
So he got hired over there, and
so now you guys are working next door to each other.
Yeah, right next door to each other, same building.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Then of course the learning curve was really steep, and Stacy Johnson, he was I guess liked the way we worked and liked our promptness and. Our respect for 18 years old.
Sure.
And he was obviously college mates with Todd Barrier.
Name, yeah.
Yep, Todd Barrier. And so they were starting the Xfinity or the Bush program up at RCR with Kevin Harvick and Mike Dillon.
Right.
And Stacy Johnson put in a good word for it. He said, you need to hire these desert boys.
Desert boys. Especially the Ratto.
Yes. So
the Ratto and the dog.
The Ratto and the
The other
dog.
one's a dog.
Oh, that's his nickname?
It was it was Desert Dog, Desert Rat, and it turned into Ratto and Dog. So, Mom hates that name. Sorry, Mom.
Maybe it could be worse, Mom.
Yeah, it could be worse.
Your brother's in like 5 highlight reels for fighting.
Oh, yeah.
Alexandra Russell says, hey, Darren and Alex are watching. Who are they?
Oh. Darren Alex?
Yeah.
That's the wrap removal.
Okay, rapid removal. Okay, got it.
Removal on the deal.
All right, perfect.
We'll get to them.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, I see. I just saw the tie-in. Sorry about that. Rapid removal. Give them a call. Great sponsor. All right, so now you're going there. So you went from
We went from truck racing to Xfinity.
Where the driver was?
Bush, which Kevin Harvick and Mike Dillon.
Okay, and your duties there were?
I was fabricator and gas man. So back then,
So Gasman came in. How did that come about?
I was scrawny, only weighed about 165 pounds, but I was tall enough, and I tried out for tire changer, didn't quite make tire changer.
Because that's a long way to go down
Yeah.
for a tall guy.
And
Right?
I might have been a little slinky and
Okay.
clumsy, but anyways, they were because back then the crews were still kind of thin.
Sure.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Not like today.
And yeah, so we
Had to be a little bit of a roofer.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything roof down. Put it up.
but it was that was learned hard work, and there Mike Dillon, I remember we did seven clips in a row, so we
So working with Mike, we can say Mike Dillon wasn't known to actually finish some races once in a while.
not a lot of them.
Not a lot of them. So what was he like as a driver? We've all worked together at RCR when he's like, his
Right,
son-in-law.
And he's a great guy.
He's a great guy. But as a driver, what was he like? I wasn't around then.
I'll tell you what, he was kind of close to Clint Boyer as far as his
personality.
always spunky, always just,
Sure.
what the hell,
A little bit wadded up.
a little bit wadded up. Worst story ever. I hope Mike doesn't mind this one, but
Go ahead.
so the parents, they used to have a good time when we raced in the smaller leagues. They would come and hang out and cook for us, and it seemed like when you're on the Xfinity in the truck, the crews are just a little more relaxed, a little more fun. Obviously the drivers aren't big time, so they can come hang out. And anyways, we used to call it circle wagons because they would get 4 or 5 campers and at Phoenix.
Make a little complex.
Yeah, Phoenix made little complex, and just amazing Mexican food or carne asada, stuff like that, West Coast food. And anyway, somehow the tequila bottle snuck out a little bit.
Shocking.
Go ahead. Yep.
Mike might have ate the worm.
Oh. Yeah. Another shocking thing.
I mean, we went to bed before midnight, so we were plenty good.
Yeah.
And
You know what Richard's deal is? I don't care what you do the night before. Just make sure you answer the bell in the morning. That's his deal. Whatever. If it's 8 o'clock, but go ahead. So
anyway, so we thought we were in pretty good shape for Phoenix. We thought we'd be pretty decent. We had decent practice, and anyway, so we get everybody's suited up, make it through the national anthem without wrecking, and
I just caught what you said. I made it through the national anthem without wrecking.
I said we, not me.
we. Okay, got it. We got it.
And
I
anyway,
thought you were going to laugh at me. That's the first time I give our guest a beer. He's got to be dry.
I know he's got it. It's great. That's what our guests are for.
I got to keep him.
Sure.
Yeah.
And he has his own
Me
cookies.
and him got some pretty good
I can
beers.
tell. Yeah, it's not the first time you get a beer together, I'm guessing. Yeah. So go ahead.
I might.
anyway, so
Mike drinks the worm. Go ahead.
drinks the worm, and they say, all right, rolling off pit road, and then I get to check your steering wheel, and then I hear, oh crap. We're like, what happened? What happened? Mike Dillon says, look, guys, I think I just wrecked the car.
Huh?
We're like, what? We didn't even make it off pit road. Well, I guess somebody in front of him stopped to straighten his wheel, and he ran right into the back of him, knocked the radiator out of it before we even got it rolling. So, we had to back it down after that. But,
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Got it. All right.
but RC might have been a little mad.
Little man. I'm sure.
Yeah,
Now, was he son-in-law then, or was he just driving?
He was son-in-law then.
Okay,
yeah.
got
I
it.
think,
he was lottery winner, I think.
yeah, when he was in
Mike Dillon, poor
the
Mike. He's getting beat up here.
when he was in the Kingsford car, he
Yeah.
wasn't son-in-law. But when he made
Right.
when he
He switched over to the Rockwell.
yeah, the Haas car,
Yeah.
Rockwell Automation car
Right.
at RCR, he was.
So you're at RCR. You work with Mike, and then from there.
Actually, I took a quick break because Dad called and said, I got this Longacre late model. Let's go run because Irwindale had opened up.
Okay.
So
Great track.
let's go run a couple of races. And I'm like, well, heck, let's do it. That's what.
So you went back to.
So yeah, I kind of took the
Did
info
your
on
brother
there.
go, or-
No, brother stayed.
So
Brother stayed.
you parted.
Parted ways.
Okay, got it.
Split with my brother for about a year.
Okay.
I moved on back home, and we did some late model racing, and we kind of realized, we were pretty much getting out-dollared. We
Yeah.
do some money at it, but
I think we all figure we get out-dollared.
Right.
yeah. So we threw some money at it and had a good time, and we're like, all right. I said, love you guys, and this small town is not as much fun as North Carolina and
Gotcha.
racing full time,
Real
and
quick.
getting paid to do it.
Real quick, #1 fan Tom Beatty says, 20 minutes left and 2 beers left in the bucket. Hey, Tom, don't you have to go to bed? Don't you have a new job?
And by the way, the refrigerator's full, and I'll make a trip.
So good. Yeah, Tom, congrats on the new job, man. I know you worked for it. So good. So now you're like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm coming back. So you
Came
made
on
the
back. Yeah, kind of got the call. Well, I was kind of Todd. You probably don't watch this anyways.
But that's
So,
No.
called Todd. I was like,
Todd Barrier.
Todd Barrier. So I'm
Yep.
ready to come back. You know, they kind of mentioned a few times. I went to a couple races
Sure.
and they're like, when we're ready, just call
Always,
us or whatever.
it's always
you know,
good,
'cause,
yeah.
you know, I was a pretty decent fabricator by the time I left RCR. And we were hand making tailpipes and stuff like that. So I called him. I was like, I'm gonna be back there in a week. And he said, cool, just come on to the shop. And I said, okay. So I got back there. I got there a couple days early, hung out a little bit, worked on the brother's house a little bit, and then
Sure.
went to work Monday morning. I showed up there Monday morning, and Will Lynn was the manager there, and he's like, hey, what are you doing here, Rado? And I said, well, Todd said I have a job. And he's like, well, why don't you come on back about noon, and we'll see what we can do. I'm like, well,
Okay.
I live in Mooresville, it's an hour away.
It's hour and 10
Right.
minutes, I know.
I'm going to go over to the
So, yeah, kind of.
barbecue joint.
Barbecue joint, hang out, yep.
And at that time, I was probably about 19 or 20, and
Jeez.
it just kind of pissed me off. And I said, well, you know, I just drove across the country.
Sure.
And,
Come here.
didn't sit well, you know.
Yeah.
And so I just didn't come. I left and didn't come back. And,
Where'd you end up?
Ended up one of my first foremans at RCR was actually Scott McMillan. McMillan Metal Shaping. He's moved on to Virginia, but he was over there at Hendrick Motorsports.
Got it.
So I called him up and he said, yeah, come on down, we'll see what we can do.
So that's how you end up in Hendrick.
Yep.
Got
So
it,
I
okay.
figured to, I mean,
What'd you do there?
I was body hanger.
For?
I started out on I think I was on the 5 plate for a little bit.
Driver was?
I think it was
Terry.
Silver Bonnie. Yeah,
Terry
Silver
Bonnie,
Bonnie. Yeah, because
yeah.
we had the Kellogg's orange. I remember
Yeah.
the paint fading like every
When he says body hanger, he says the sheet metal on the body.
Right.
We didn't actually take people's bodies and hang them on hooks.
I just love leaving it
You
open,
got to
like-
tell people that. They don't
So
know.
the bodies of the race cars. Go ahead. Race car
Like
body.
I was a body hanger.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Were you in the morgue?
Stop
No.
it. Go ahead. Go
Things are heavy.
Come on. Go ahead. Tell your story.
So, anyway, so
Lord.
I slung sheet metal and
Uh-huh.
met a bunch of great guys there. Had a good time, and
How long did you stay there for?
I did that for 3 years.
Okay.
And I actually raced a limited late model out at Concord Speedway. Had a good time there.
So you weren't traveling then at the time?
I wasn't traveling.
Okay, got it. All right.
Um,
So you got back behind the wheel again.
Got back behind the wheel, built a limited late model. Still a little bit of a hope of a dream, but
Sure.
it was fading, but it was still fun at that time.
Right.
You're in the
And
right spot.
I was still single, and
Sure.
so I could spend all my money on race cars and not feel
Right.
guilty.
Sure.
So, did that, and then this whole time my brother was working his way up. I think he did a little bit of work with Harvick and this and that, and he got the new team formed with Dave Blaney, the 07,
Yep.
Jack Daniels at RCR. And my brother called on me and said, I need an underneath guy. And I said, well,
Was he was a
When
car
you say-
chief
he
then.
was the
Yeah.
car chief, yeah, for the Blaney year. Yep.
So an underneath guy does what on the car so people...
Gears, transmissions, tailpipes, everything.
Truck
basically,
arms.
Truck arms. A lot of that, all that
So
stuff.
now you're back at RCR?
The
Back-
dirtiest guy the
So-
the dirtiest guy at the track is the underneath guy.
So when you showed up, did Will Lynn say he could come back after lunch again, or you were good this time? Sorry.
No, my brother actually told me, he's
Okay.
like, they were going to hire you if you came back, and I was like, I know, I just got mad.
I just got mad.
My pride got in the way of
that
that one.
happens.
Well, I get it because you drove. I get it.
That's what I mean. That was my first knee-jerk
And-
reaction
and-
was I just drove for 2
Sure. Yeah.
The,
points a day.
the era he's talking about was the era where it was the
Yeah.
toolbox derby.
Yeah. $50 more a week. You'll
You
move
know,
down the
it
road.
was the era of
Yeah.
if you had any good experience and you were a good talented fabricator or mechanic, you didn't need to hear that from
Sure.
from a manager.
Yeah.
Because you can go somewhere else.
You just kind of say, all
Make a
right,
phone
well,
call. I'll be right
I'm gonna
there.
roll over here. And,
Yeah.
you know,
Perfect. Who's Dustin Stanley?
Dustin Stanley, he was our shot guy on the 07 for a long time.
Says you're a roommate.
He was my roommate.
On the road?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He cuddles well.
No stories.
No story.
Moving on. All right. That took a...
It's
That's
cold.
awesome. I got
Really
it.
nice. But no, so the 07 was a blast.
Yeah.
You know,
Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels.
Sure.
What do you say? No funner sponsor.
Right.
Amazing times.
If they had tumblers back then, this would be Jack Daniels.
Right.
Yeah.
And the rest would be Coke.
And that was well, actually,
Just to fly, just for an hour and a half.
Just for looks.
not to plug Red Bull, but at the time it was Jack Daniels and Red Bull because they were both free.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, we'll see what this does for us.
So, the first time I went to RCR was with Casey Mears with the Jack Daniels car, and I'm like, and they used to send us all these appearances. And I'm like, well, have the first one, second one, third one, decline, and I'm like, all right, fine. And I'm like, but then I discovered Gentleman Jack, but they were great. The activation,
Oh, yeah.
was
Oh,
incredible. Anyhow, go ahead.
But
you're working there.
Working there, and I did the full stint there on the 07. Like I said, got to know the Jack guys really good.
Mm-hmm.
Got to see Tennessee. And
Oh yeah.
got to see the distillery. Check it out.
That whole thing. Them people treated us
Oh.
very well.
Royalty. I mean, I felt like
Yeah.
they were royalty.
Mm-hmm.
They were appreciative anytime that we would just even go out to the track promotions, and they would just treat us like royalty.
Real
But,
quick. Hey, Darren Russell, I know you're watching. Just made a comment. Type in your phone number for rapid removal so everybody can know where to contact you to get some containers.
Right.
So go ahead.
so, but anyway, so we did that, and a lot of long time. I was underneath guy plus a fabricator. Back then, we could have a little more fun with the bodies,
Right.
so we got to play and we got to work more, and we had some moving parts and
Right.
all that cool stuff.
Trickery.
Little trickery.
Cleverness. Cleverity, whatever you call it.
So
What are some of your favorite memories about wins?
we did. I mean,
Or who you worked
What
for.
you worked for? Like Blaney, what was he?
Who was your guy?
Blaney was your driver, right?
Blade was right the first year.
Right.
Then that got swapped out for Clint Boyer.
So when Clint Boyer comes rolling to town, how is that when he steps in there?
Well, I mean, at this point, I hadn't really won a race
Right.
at all.
All these years.
Yeah, all my years, I hadn't won a race. I mean, we were Kevin Harvick was winning the Busch races. I was on the 21 team, which was Mike Dillon's team. We built both the cars.
Right.
Of course, the managers always say, "You guys all won," but
Yeah.
But you weren't exactly
I wasn't
a part
in-
of the.
yeah, I wasn't in victory.
I know
You were
exactly
doing
what you're
this.
saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Most of us guys who, unless you're directly connected to that car,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you don't really.
Win.
Sure, you consider it a great.
You can say it,
Yeah,
but it's
but
not.
unless you touch that car,
Right.
you didn't win. That's how we work.
Right.
So so on the 07 deal, we started building, and it was still kind of separated in those days. Harvick and
Yeah, there's still that.
but I did a lot of work with Gil Martin, great mentor.
We love Gil.
Love
Yeah,
Gil.
Skill's awesome.
Learned a lot of respect, and obviously he took care of his guys, and
Great manager.
oh yeah, great manager.
Great manager.
Enjoyed the heck out of working with Gil Martin, and so that went on. I don't think we won the first year. We finished third in points, which was pretty solid.
Yeah.
And then we won Loudon.
So that was your first.
That was my first.
What was that like?
First cup win.
Cup victory. I don't know. It was bogged down with Jack Daniels, but
I always like it.
So it was fun.
It's the last couple laps. You're coming down. You're like, holy crap! This is my
Oh.
first. This is my, what do you remember? What do you remember about that?
man, I wish I could jump on the radio and tell
Clint
Clint
meltdown?
to calm down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause
I
we had-
feel like I got a vibration.
We had a dang
My
20
ear's
second.
falling out.
I think we had a 20 or 30 second lead, or not even that big because we were at Loudon, but we almost had a
Right.
we had a full straightaway.
But he was melting down, right?
Oh yeah, over Jeff Gordon, and he's like, I think the motor's going flat. I think same thing. Vibration. I'm hearing noises.
Clint was making up all this.
I got
yeah.
close.
Yeah.
Shut up and just turn around.
So yeah, so
So he comes across. He takes the checkered flag, and your first thought is,
oh shoot, I don't even know. Like finally, we
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
we did.
You're a relief, right?
Yeah.
I guess that was the first year because he was a rookie.
Yeah.
So we won the first year with him, and then once that broke open, then you're high stepping, and that's when you
Absolutely.
that's when you did earn the points the hard way. Back then, I think
Yep.
that was in the late 2000s, early 2000s. Excuse
Yeah.
me. And so So we actually finished third, which was a pretty big deal,
Yeah.
you know. And we beat Harvick and all that, and
you felt like you did your job.
did our job,
Right?
yeah.
You
yeah.
find
Nothing fell off.
it's like the monkey's off your back when that happens. I know the deal.
So that was a lot. That was a lot of fun, and then we kind of.
I was thinking the band, Take the Last Train to Clarksville. You mentioned actually, go ahead. Sorry.
I said the monkey, not the monkey.
Okay, sorry.
So
Can't hear something.
Jumanji.
did that for several years, and obviously never stopped fabricating.
Right.
I enjoy fabrication because a lot of times, like RCR, the thing I like about them is they said, "Here's a bucket. We need to make it into this shape. Just figure out how to do it."
Right.
You know what I mean? And they
Yep.
gave you the freedom. Like today's
Right.
kind of NASCAR world, they're like, "This is what you're going to do. This is how you're going to do it." And
No, now they give you a drawing of the
Right.
bucket.
So
and,
how
and
long
now I say, your bucket isn't what I would draw.
Yeah.
I can make a better bucket than
yeah,
you're
of
drawing.
course, you
How
say
about
that.
if I draw? How about if I make you one?
How if I take-
and you say it's good to your drawing.
the master fabricator,
No,
mystery master fabricator.
it's-
I know, that's a compliment to you. You do that down to
we're
one time.
engineers before
I know
we
you
were
are.
fabricators.
Exactly, I know you are. So you're at RCR for how long?
shoot, I don't
How long?
even know.
How long were you there?
Total, I think about 18 years.
Not really.
Majority of my
Okay,
career.
but he's coming, but yeah.
Yeah.
I came and left a few times,
Yeah.
and whatever.
Right.
But so I mean, at this point, I kind of know everybody, and from the gear room to the fab shop
Sure.
to the body shop to the motor shop.
Right.
I'm comfortable. I call it home. You
Right.
know,
To
I'm,
the R&D guy that they shit canned.
yeah,
Right.
another R&D guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be you, right? Oh my gosh. Go ahead.
Wind tunnel guys.
See, I didn't catch that.
You know,
So, Chris Hussey posted a picture of us in the wind tunnel, and we finally figured out it was you.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, we couldn't tell. You had your back, but yeah, it was a speedway test. Someone said, "I think that's Ratto." They thought it was Kevin Gladman. I'm like, he wouldn't be there. There's no way he would be there. And it was an hour when you were working for Slugger.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
So
so
you got
Cheers.
7 minutes here.
yes, sir.
So what I want to know is, so you're actually the first guest we've had that got out of the sport,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the key to having you on tonight was to show people you can get out of the sport whether you got out by choice or not. And for you, it was kind of like a 50-50 because it came down to that time where
Yeah.
teams were cutting back and everything, and you went. There's life after this, so
Yep, yeah.
your ending came after all those years.
Real quick, I got to give a quick shout to
Yep.
Slugger Labby.
Yep.
No problem. We love Slugger.
He's a kick-ass dude.
Prior
Yeah,
guest, yes.
absolutely.
Had a lot of fun with him. Learned a lot with him. We had a few tussles and
Oh,
wrestles. but
yeah.
You
sat
do with
down.
Slugger. That's how you
That's
work.
Slugger, yeah.
That's how you know he loves you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't fight with Slugger, then you're
So
right.
I learned to speak up when I'm with some of them Northerners. I'm not used to. It's not how we talk in California.
Sure. Okay. Yep.
So, but anyways, I got a quick shout to Slugger.
Yep.
That was a fun
Awesome.
time. We learned a lot, and working with Austin Dillon, that was
Yep.
that was a good time. It was cool to watch somebody grow like he did.
Yep.
Good luck to you. But anyway, so I was on the last year. I was on the road with Austin Dillon, and the COVID hit, and the options that RCR presented didn't really appease me.
Mhm.
And I had my contractor's license as a backup because I think about 2007. I think
2008.
NASCAR kind
Yeah,
of took a
2008,
dive.
everything kind of went.
NASCAR took
Yeah.
a dive, so I actually studied and got my contractor's license
So
just
you were
in
thinking
case.
ahead, yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
and I had been trickling with it, messing with it a little bit,
Right.
and they kind of what RCR kind of offered once the COVID hit kind of struck me wrong, and I was like, after 18 years, I didn't feel like that was backing my family up.
Yep.
And at this point, I had a lovely wife, a 3-year-old and a 13-year-old depending on me, and
So,
So-
did you leave at lunch? Did it like counteract like
no, at the second one.
like we said, come back after lunch? I'll be back after
That's the
lunch.
same time. Second one. I checked in and said, I'm going until lunch, and I'll see you guys
Isn't
later.
that funny how good people don't do that?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Good. So all of a sudden now, this is the part where you're the first story you've had. You've said, okay, racing circumstance, I'm done. So you did what?
So kind of people kind of wonder I backed out. Like my career was learning. Like I stepped into a car chief role, kind of struggled with that, didn't enjoy it. Wasn't really for me. So I fell back into the QC role, the quality control, which I really enjoyed. The Hawkeye and stuff like that. They had some good systems in place at RCR, and I enjoyed the heck out of that. And I liked it because I worked with everybody from the body shop to the fab shop to the paint shop. Worked with the crew chiefs and and even the drivers.
Some woman said Candace, that same last name as you. So
Yeah. She's a sweetheart.
there you go. So how did this hat you have on says what on it?
My wife got an order.
Okay, and your shirt says what on it?
So Alquist Construction kind of came about. So with the QC was more of the hand built race car type thing.
Right.
And with the new car, the Gen 7, what gen are they on now? Gen 8, Gen 7, whatever. If that car comes down the line, it kind of eliminates that or slims that out or cuts a lot of that work out. So I kind of looked at my future and I said, I'm either stand around and wait for NASCAR to eliminate this position, or I can create my own opportunity. And
that's what you did.
That's kind of what I did. I talked with my wife. She had my back. So we jumped out.
Created Alquist Construction.
Alquist Construction, 2 kids and 40 years old, or 41 years old, and started a new job and a new career.
And how long ago was that?
That was when COVID
year and a
hit.
half.
About a
Year and a half.
About a year and a half now, yeah.
So getting work for how's it been getting work for you?
The work's been good. I don't know if it's because of COVID and everybody's tired of living at their houses.
Sure.
But, Alquist Construction is rolling. We're 2
What type of work do you do?
Decks, patios.
Roofer. Yeah.
I'm not a roofer.
I know that.
Don't confuse me. So decks, patios, what other stuff?
We do complete remodels.
Inside?
I've finished actually 2 basements now. I've helped the Hasslers out.
Okay,
We did a
nice.
complete basement remodel for them, and I'm on another one.
So what it is, folks, and I'll say it like this: you got a fabricator who's decided to become a construction contractor / remodeler, and now all you're going to get, especially a NASCAR guy, you're going to get super quality precision work.
Right.
Rado and I talked about this before we started our cast here, about how we used to measure in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And now, if you measure within an eighth or a quarter, your stuff looks way better than the guy that is behind you measuring in half inches that, or doesn't know how to read a tape measure.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, it's about someone who takes pride in their work and is going to give you good stuff.
And actually, I've kind of lined up with a couple people from the sport. I don't know if you guys remember Chase Miller.
Yeah.
He was a
Oh,
driver.
yeah, I remember him.
So
I
he
worked with
has-
him for a while, yeah.
Yeah, so he has Southern Stone and landscaping.
Okay.
So I
I
work
know
with
that.
him a lot.
Right.
If you need like some Bobcat services
I
or
worked with him I did his PR at Gillette Everham, I think it was.
yeah, exactly. Yep. And my brother was crew chief with him at the time.
I just thank you very much. Now it just clicked
Boom.
on. There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Boom.
So
that
I
time.
lined up with him, and then of course
That one
Darren Russell with Rapid Removal.
Right?
Use the heck out of their service because, and I'll tell you, not just to plug them, but
No.
they actually have tires on their dumpsters. So a lot of dumpsters services will drop something in your driveway,
and just kill it.
drag it back, and groove your driveway.
Yeah.
These trailers, he's got 20-yard trailers that actually have tires on them, so they back it up on tires and then just unhook it and then call when you're ready.
The worst you're going to have is maybe some tire tracks.
yeah, tire marks.
So that's
Yeah,
good.
so it's definitely a sweet deal, and the nice thing about them too is most of the bigger companies are 2 to 3 days when you're done.
Right?
All right, we'll be there. 3 days later.
Good.
Darren can usually get there within a day, if not a day and a half.
So now here's
Him or Reggie.
people in
Reggie,
racing.
go get that. No.
People in racing,
Yes,
circumstances, working together, helping each other out. Still part of the family.
a lot of it. Yeah, a lot of it. And actually, believe it or not, I'm actually excited to start the Russo project. Stephanie Russo, one of the officials.
Oh yeah.
She called me to
Off
remodel
of,
her.
Stutz Road there.
Yep.
Yep.
Really nice.
So I'm going to remodel her. She's
Good.
got a log cabin.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about
Exactly.
it. It's going to be
I just live just past there. on
yeah,
Stutz.
103 Commodore. So
Those usually need insulation bad.
it needs everything.
So
So
log cabins,
Yeah.
it's got
they're drafty.
Right.
it's got a lot of the older siding. So that's going to be a fun one. We're going to rip all the siding out, put drywall in.
So you're saying the things that you do, you're pretty
Yeah.
A lot of stuff.
He's versatile.
Versatile. That's
First,
what I was looking
yeah, I'm licensed. So as a GC,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
licensed
important.
and
Right.
contracted in, and insured.
for. Right.
So I can do all this. I can sign up. I can pull the permits, and then some of the subs I got to pull in. Be permitted for plumbing or electrical. But
So
we can
before
do
we
most of
before we
it.
close out with you, you have a koozie. You have your own koozie.
Yeah.
So you're big time. So there's a number to call. What is it? 704-907-7669. Almquist Construction.
Yes, sir.
And the motto is, we do it because we like it.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. All right. You know what?
Like the motto.
Thank you very much for coming on tonight.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having
Thanks,
it.
buddy.
Great story.
Appreciate you,
Great
man.
story.
Great fabricator here every pit.
And he's got, and also a great general construction contractor. And it's good to see people leaving the sport staying successful, not sitting around waiting for it to come back.
So the highlight.
To the highlight. There you
Cheers.
go. Should we say
Second
it?
slugger with that.
Good night, Dick. Good night. Thanks,
Dick,
everybody.
good night, Dick.
Hey, real quick, next week, Frank Kimmel's our guest. Think about that. We're going
Big time arca
big
race.
time arc racing. I'm sorry, I forgot to say that. Thank you, everybody.
I got you.
Wow. Hey, another great show.
Great
Thank
show.
you so much, everybody,
Yeah,
for tuning
enjoyed
in.
it.
We appreciate it. We do this every Tuesday night, and Warren, I think the guests we've had have been fantastic.
Phenomenal.
And the people that are following us, we appreciate it. We're reaching 42,000 people a month. Can you believe that? And we appreciate you watching. And
We're having fun. Hope everybody else enjoys it.
that's it. And it's just a fun show. Bucket of beer, guys sitting around talking about it. So keep tuning in. We appreciate it. Check out our store and everything. But we appreciate you people, and we will see you next week, right, my friend?
Yes, sir.
All right. See you next week.